Just what fueled that fourth quarter run? I know Onyeka hit that three at the end of the third. Did that fuel it, or just?
No, I think we've talked a lot about how to handle and respond to runs. I don't think we got really good shots at the beginning of the third, and then we got bogged down a little bit and started defending. I think really well at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and that kind of gave us our rhythm back, and it carried over to the offensive end.
And Dyson Daniels gets his first career triple-double.
Yeah.
Just what have you seen? He's been very close throughout the season. Just what have you seen out of his game?
Yeah, it feels like the way he's played, as you said, that he's had a few previously. A couple guys made shots maybe that he didn't make previously, but it's representative of how he's playing. He's just a complete player, and his activity in so many different parts of the game. Particularly on the boards. I think the way that he's rebounding for a guard is really important to us.
And then you see V. You have to use him as a starter. You just see him kind of developing. And defensively, what did you see out of him for tonight's game? Yeah,
he didn't shoot well, but to be honest, we did that. We say it all the time, and I'll say it again. The shooting can come and go, but the presence that he has on the floor, just he's got a good feel for the game, and I think that carries over to the defensive end. And we had a lot of guys tonight that I think took a lot of pride defensively.
Coach, when you look at that...
Why are you sitting back there? Were you late or something? Couldn't even find you. You stand up when you talk? Go ahead. Yeah, you messing with you, Lauren.
I'm curious about that third quarter and just kind of where the offense kind of felt maybe a little stagnant and guys trying to figure things out. Where do you see the next step for these guys to kind of figure
I think just sustaining, when we've... The first part of the third quarter, we didn't make shots, but we got some really good looks. And I think sometimes when the ball doesn't go in, you press a little bit. And, we just talked a lot about breaking the paint. And I thought we didn't break them down during that stretch. And so the ball not going in, we weren't able to get easy things too. But there was a few possessions that the ball was moving around and it looked really good. We just didn't make them. And I think really during that stretch too, we were still pretty solid defensively. Where that's been a 12, 14-point run, and it was a 6, 8-point run, which I think really helped us going into the fourth.
And obviously there are different ways to sort of measure a team, but seeing how guys had each other's back in that sort of fracas in the third quarter, just what does it say about this team's ability to come together?
Yeah, I think it's a close group, we've that aggressiveness, not necessarily during a dead ball, but that situation. I think guys have each other's backs, but I thought defensively, the more aggressive we can be, the more physical, that helps our group, and it's not completely habitual yet, but we're learning and adjusting, whether it's guarding screening actions or on the glass, and that mentality, I think, is something that we need to continue to talk about and get better at.
You had 11 steals in the first half. Was there anything besides the actual taking of the ball that you think contributed to helping in that?
I think finding getting a better feel for early in the game, they got some open threes where we overhelped. And that's really not where those steals come. I thought we read plays better and try to make them make plays as opposed to helping when we don't need to. And when you play solid defensively, sometimes you fall into steals, and I thought that happened. We had some things where guys made plays on the ball, and it was good activity, but I think collectively, being solid defensively impacts that in ways that gambling for making plays and steals doesn't.